let's have a quick conversation about how to find free invoicing software. I mean, invoicing software is kind of important, especially if you are a small business working on multiple projects. So here's an overview I want you to pay attention to. So when you think about free invoicing software, this could be for budgetary reasons, right? Because you cannot afford paid invoicing software. Now you have to really understand that you're not going to have the same modules because you might have some restrictions. And when we talk about free invoicing software, you have two essential aspects. You can have a free invoicing software that's free forever. In other words, the provider is giving you access to like a limited access to modules. That's number one. But you also have option number two. That's actually a invoicing software that's free for, let's say, 2 weeks or 3 weeks or even 30 days. That way you have the capabilities to actually test out the product and see if you like it. Okay. So it's important to understand that when we talk about free invoicing software, we are speaking about a tool that allows you to create and send invoices so that you really get away from the tedious and time-consuming task of preparing invoices and actually sending them manually. And not just sending them, but you also have to track them. So if a customer is not paying on time, there has to be an element of late fee, and that has to be generated automatically. And it's important to understand that when you actually are doing, if you have a free invoicing software, you are able to have a tool that calculates the amount, write the details, format the layout, print the invoices, mail it to the client, and and get paid because that's what you want, right? And think about repeating the process that I just described, repeating the process over and over and over. So you really want to get away from this sort of a manual aspect of things. So free invoicing software can basically save you time, money, and hassle by automating and streamlining your billing process. And that's where you really want to go. You want to automate and you want to streamline your billing process. That way you can generate revenue consistently. Okay. And but how do you really find free invoicing? You have several ways, but long story short, we have actually on this show a roundup of the free invoicing software. So you might want to really look at that video, like the best free invoicing software that you can really avail yourself of right now. So when we talk about finding free invoicing software, everything starts by understanding what invoicing software really entails. Because we see a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of small business owners, a lot of freelancers having no idea about what invoicing software really can do for you. So to get free invoicing software, you need to really understand what it means. So you can use invoicing software to create and send bills to your customers for the products or services you provide, right? The whole thing is that you do not want to do things manually. And especially if you have a lot of customers, the last thing you want is to forget actually sending an invoice to a customer, because the customer, although he or she may be honest, they're not going to constantly remind you to bill them, right? It's up to you to actually track your revenue and also track your accounts receivable. It's an important element to keep in mind. So you are able to use invoicing software to track payments, manage taxes, and generate reports. So when we talk about managing taxes, we are speaking about taxes federally, but also state-wise. So it could be a state income tax. It could be a state sales taxes. It could also be excise taxes in some way. And when we talk about federal taxes, you are speaking about filing your Form 1065 if you're an LLC or LLP or whatever. You can also file your Form 1120S if you're an S corporation, or Form 1120 if you're a C corporation. But if you want to remain a solopreneur, filing as an individual, you can just file your Form 1040. So basically, through invoicing software, you are able to save time, money, and hassle, okay? Because you're automating and streamlining your billing process. And so it's really important to understand that when it comes to free invoicing software, there are many options out there, but not all of them are worth your attention. So you got to really pay attention to things like hidden fees, limited features, or poor customer support. Because basically, if you actually have a free invoicing software, you got to really expect to pay somewhere. either in terms of time or in terms of customer support. You got to really ask yourself, what's the most important for you? Another thing you want to do is if you want to find free invoicing software, you got to have a clear idea about your needs and goals, because your needs and goals are going to determine the level of specs, the level of capabilities that you can expect in the free invoicing tool. Okay. And so when we talk about defining your needs and goals, I'm not just talking about operationally. I'm also talking about vis-a-vis your customers, your vendors, and also regulators. I mean, let's say authorities. I was talking to you a little earlier about sales taxes. I was talking about income taxes, among others. So let me give you a couple of questions you need to answer to really find out what your needs and goals really are. Let me ask you, for instance, what kind of invoice software are you looking for? See, when we talk about invoicing software, you have all kinds of tools, but which one specifically are you looking for? Do you need, let's say, a simple tool to create and send invoices? Or do you need more advanced features like recurring billing, online payments, or project management? So if you really want to have something that's sophisticated, then it might get a little harder to find something free. For instance, if you want invoicing software that integrates seamlessly to a project management, it might be a little complicated to find something free. Okay, even if you find something free, the features will be really, really limited. And how many clients and invoices do you have per month? Because some invoicing software tools, they will charge you based on the number of clients or the number of invoices you actually issue every month. So if you're looking for free invoicing software, you might have some limitations there. In other words, the free tool might limit you to, say, 10 invoices per month or 50 invoices per month. And what kind of reports and analytics do you really need also? That's another element for you to think about. So when we talk about reports and analytics, we are speaking about the depth and breadth of that reporting. And how much are you willing to pay for a premium plan if you need to upgrade in the future? Because when we talk about scalability, at some point, if your business is growing, if your customer base is expanding, you might have another idea about just paying for stuff, right? So you have advanced functionalities. But so those are questions that you need to really ask yourself to really help you define your needs and goals in the short run. The next thing you want to do is you want to search for free invoicing software online. And the thing is that, just you can use a search engine like Google or Bing or even Yahoo for that matter to find free invoicing software. And all you have to do is watch shows like this, for instance, or you can just type keywords like free invoicing software, best free invoice software, or free billing software. And depending upon your geography, like if you are in the States or you are, let's say, if you are in North America, you have more tools available, because a lot of those tool providers, they actually provide their tools in English. So you might actually have more luck finding a free tool if you are searching geographically towards English speaking countries. So whether you are in the States, in Canada, in Australia, in New Zealand, in the UK, in South Africa, you have you are more likely to find tools that really fits all the bill, if you will, fits your needs. And you can also use websites that review and compare different invoicing software. Like, for instance, you have Finances Online, you have Zapier, or you can also try Forbes. Okay. And so those websites actually can help you narrow down your options by showing you the pros and cons, the features, the functionalities, the modules, the pricing, and user ratings of each software. So that way, when you make a decision, you are clear as to what specifically you want. But one thing I also want to mention is that when we talk about free invoicing software, do not actually forget about the reporting aspect of things. This is really important. Reporting. I'm talking about you having the ability to analyze your accounts receivable, your revenues. In other words, your income statements. You also want to pay attention to your balance sheet and also your cash flow statements, because the thing is that those financial reports are going to be instrumental when it comes to generating tax documents, when it comes to qualifying for business funding. For instance, there are some business loans and business lines of credit that require you to present a detailed reports on your cash inflows and cash outflows, as well as your invoices. So this could be an important element to pay attention to. Next thing you want to do is you want to compare and evaluate your options. So when we talk about comparing and contrasting, this is a pretty manual way. Of course, you have the earlier sites that I mentioned to you, Forbes. You also have Nerd Wallet. You have you can actually watch shows like ours to have a clear idea where you can find free invoicing software. So so once you have a list, let's say of potential free invoicing software, you want to compare, contrast, and evaluate them based on your needs and goals. If you remember, going back to what I said earlier in terms of your needs and goals, that it's really an important element. And you can even use a spreadsheet or a table to list the features, benefits, limitations, and costs of each software. That way you have a pretty granular idea about what really can help you out. You can also sign up for the free trials or demos to test the software yourself and see how that specific software works in practice. And there are some factors that you may want to consider in terms of evaluating the software, in terms of testing the software and seeing if the capabilities actually fit your operations. Now, one thing I need to mention is that when we talk about doing a demo, for instance, you have to really understand that our preference after years of research is that the free trial in a live environment is way better than a demo environment, because the demo environment is totally different from a live environment. Okay, so if you have the possibility to go for a free trial, it's better to go for the free trial. Give yourself a reminder, so after 30 days you can just cancel your credit card order, so they don't charge you because those charges they actually go off automatically. Okay, so you got to really think about a few things. You may want to consider, for instance, ease of use, functionality, reliability, scalability. So when we talk about ease of use, how user-friendly is the software? Is it easy to set up, customize, and navigate? Does it have a clear and intuitive interface? What about functionality? Does the software have all the features you need? Does it support multiple currencies, languages, and tax rates? Does it integrate with other tools you already use, such as accounting software, payment gateways, or email marketing platforms? What about reliability? How secure is the software? Does it comply with data protection laws and regulations? Does it have regular backups and updates? Does it offer customer support and technical assistance? And what about scalability? How flexible is the software? Can it grow with your business? Does it have different plans and pricing options to suit your changing needs? So those are elements you need to think about. And next thing you want to do is you want to choose the best free invoicing software for your business. Now, it's important to really understand that when we talk about the best free invoicing software for your business, that invoice has to not only meet the needs and goals that you identified a little earlier, but the software has to also integrate with your existing tech stack. See, do not actually underestimate that aspect of things. When we talk about integrating with your existing tech stack, we are talking about making sure that the software, for instance, the free invoicing software, can actually quote unquote, talk to your CRM. For instance, if you have a CRM, client relationship management, with your email marketing software, whether you're using Bravo or MailChimp or GoDaddy or all the other Aweber or all those players. Because the thing is that if you want to have a seamless communication process with your customers, then you want to make sure that you are able to contact them. You're able to establish sales funnels. You're able to establish landing pages. You're able to establish pop-ups. And those things have to happen seamlessly, because otherwise, if you have 5 clients, you might be able to do things manually. But if you have 50 clients or 500 clients, then things become a little complicated. And you're not in business to actually be static. Your goal is to actually have a seamless process so that the process can be scalable. So when as your business grow, you are also able to get things done and generate revenue seamlessly. Okay, so after comparing and evaluating the options, you want to choose the best free invoicing software for your business. And once you have that, don't forget to sign up for an account and start creating and sending invoices to your clients. And in addition, you want to monitor your cash flow, you want to track payments, you want to manage taxes, and you want to generate reports using the software. But one thing I want to remember, do not forget to cancel your credit card order. I mean, if after 30 days, for any reason, you do not like the software, or something either you don't like the software, or you basically don't like the customer service, you have the opportunity to actually cancel things. Okay, it's a lot better to cancel things yourself than actually asking for a refund later on. So let me give you a recap here before we go to the bottom line. So when we talk about funding free invoicing software for your business, we're talking about the ability to understand that everything starts with you understanding what free invoicing software really entails. And most importantly, what invoicing software does, right? Because a lot of people actually confuse invoicing software versus billing software versus accounting software versus project management software, because even though some invoicing software tools have capabilities around project management, around accounting, around billing, for instance, those are different modules. Those are really different modules. So you got to have a clear idea what those concepts entail. You also need to have a clear idea about your goals and needs. And this has to go back to your capabilities, because see, the thing is, if you are a freelancer, your goals are way different than if you were, let's say, a small business owner, for instance. So this is kind of also, it's important also, as you're doing the research, make sure that you are searching the right platforms. If you want to go for Google, which is really sort of broad, that's fine too. But you want to use, for instance, you want to use quotes, for instance, to sort of narrow. You want to narrow the search engine results pages, for instance. You do the same thing on Bing as well as Yahoo. And you also want to make sure that you run a comparison test to have a clear idea of who the winner really is. The bottom line is that you always want to go for known names, for instance, Zoho, Square Invoices. You want to go for Paymo, for instance. You want to go for Pay Simple. So those are pretty solid invoicing software that actually have a free, either free capabilities, so it can be free forever plan, or you can have a 30-day free trial. So those are pretty solid tools. So we have actually covered this on another show. So if you're interested, please avail yourself of that video. So we're talking about the best free invoicing software for entrepreneurs, small business owners, and also freelancers. So here is a bottom line here. So in today's conversation, I explained to you how to find free invoicing software. So I gave you the overview, and then I spoke to you about the steps, right? So you need to understand what invoicing software entails, defining your needs and goals, searching for a free invoicing software online, comparing and evaluating your options, and choosing the best free invoicing software for your business. And now the recap. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.